On the morning of Wednesday, October 29, 2025, Johannesburg woke up to tragedy. A routine commute turned into a devastating scene on Comaro Road in the quiet suburb of Bassonia, south of the city. By 8 a.m., flashing lights and twisted metal marked the site of one of the most shocking road accidents of the year. A Toyota Quantum minibus taxi and a bakkie collided, leaving 7 people dead and several others critically injured. This is the story of what happened on that fateful morning, what witnesses saw, and what authorities believe caused the deadly crash. It was an ordinary weekday morning. The roads were busy, workers, students, and parents moving through their daily routine. Weather warnings had already been issued. The South African Weather Service had cautioned about severe thunderstorms and wet, slippery roads across Gauteng. Among those on the road that morning was a Toyota Quantum minibus taxi packed with commuters heading into the city. Eyewitnesses described it as traveling downhill along Comaro Road near Tarantal Avenue, a stretch known for its steep incline. Moments later, everything changed.
According to preliminary reports, the taxi's brakes failed as it descended the hill. The driver, realizing he had lost control, tried to steer away, but it was too late. The taxi first smashed into a streetlight pole, then crashed into a tree along the side of the road. The impact was so violent that parts of the vehicle broke off, scattering across the lanes. One of those fragments hit an oncoming Ford Ranger bakkie, which was traveling in the opposite direction. When paramedics and police arrived, they were met with scenes of destruction, shattered glass, twisted metal, and the haunting silence that follows disaster. Within minutes, emergency services declared 7 passengers dead at the scene. All of them had been inside the taxi, 5 women and 2 men, all believed to be between the ages of 30 and 45.
Paramedics and firefighters from Johannesburg Emergency Services rushed to the scene. Using the jaws of life, rescue workers carefully cut through the mangled wreckage to reach trapped passengers. Several survivors were pulled out, critically injured but alive. They were immediately transported to Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, where doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize them. The driver of the bakkie reportedly escaped without serious injury, though visibly shaken. For hours, Comaro Road was closed in both directions as investigators and cleanup crews worked amid heavy rain and traffic congestion. Commuters were diverted through Peter Ackroyd and Soot Doring Avenue, causing major backups across southern Johannesburg. The Johannesburg Metropolitan Police Department, JMPD, quickly opened a case of culpable homicide. Investigators began inspecting the wreckage for signs of mechanical failure, especially the brake system. Initial evidence pointed to a possible brake malfunction, though officers also considered other factors. Was the taxi overloaded? When was it last serviced? Were weather conditions a factor? The taxi industry in South Africa has long faced scrutiny over vehicle maintenance and road safety compliance. Many drivers operate under immense pressure to meet daily passenger targets, often on steep, winding routes with little margin for error. In this case, investigators would later confirm that the downhill gradient of Comaro Road, combined with possible wet road conditions, made the crash unavoidable once the taxi lost braking power. The loss was devastating. 7 families, mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters, were left in shock. Many of the victims were on their way to work, doing what millions do every morning across the country. Community members placed flowers at the crash site. Messages of sorrow and frustration flooded social media. How many more lives will be lost before safety becomes a real priority? Another senseless tragedy caused by poor maintenance and bad roads. Local councillors and the Gauteng Department of Transport called for urgent inspections on taxis operating